Born in a Nebraska basement in 1958, inspired by Canadian study guides, loved by students, loathed by teachers, black and yellow covers became iconic. Seems a little short? That's the idea. And that's why this week's On Brand is on CliffsNotes.
You're all jazzed up, nearly having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa. I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa.
That has to be the shortest intro we have ever had.
That's the idea.
Oh, you did that as a joke because I literally
Did you
just got
really
it.
not?
I literally just got it. That's genius. At first I was like, babe is lazy. That's genius.
We are lazy because we're talking about CliffsNotes, a product
CliffsNotes.
I have utilized many times in my life.
Half of our audience is pulled over. They're like, I don't know what this is. They're Googling. Did she say Cliff? Is it apostrophe?
Well, here's
S?
my question. What did you call them? Because widespread in the vernacular, it's CliffsNotes.
Cliff. I thought it was Cliff's Notes.
It is CliffsNotes.
It should be. It's his notes. Not
Most-
what's Cliff Notes? I sat on a cliff.
Most people say CliffsNotes.
It could be a cliff. Maybe they wrote it as they were falling off a cliff, like,
Oh.
and then they got married.
You could read this in the time it will take you to fall off a cliff and be done with Romeo and Juliet before you hit the ground.
I feel like Cliff's Notes. They were around when I was in school. They had their own little rack, but
Yes.
and I feel like I probably got them. I feel like I was on the tail end of them. Like I feel
Oh.
like I don't know when their heyday was. I'm assuming their heyday was more 70s. 60s,
Sure.
70s.
They came out in the late 50s, but
Okay.
60s, 70s, I mean, certainly around when I was in school in 90s.
You seem like
2000s.
someone that would have heavily relied on Cliff's Notes.
Oh, quite certainly.
I would have relied on cheating. Neither one of us would have read, basically.
I had asked David, I said, oh, did you ever, I'm going to do the episode on CliffsNotes. Did you ever use CliffsNotes? He goes, I was too lazy to read the cliff. He was like, I was halfway through the CliffsNotes. I was like, do we have a shorter version of this?
Oh my God. It doesn't. He's like, they make like Catcher in the Rye greeting card.
Yeah. He's like, we need Dave's notes. It's like just 8 words to summarize the Great Gatsby.
And wow, he wants less than Cliff's Notes. I'm excited. I mean, this is the end of it. We did it our first theme month. This is
Yeah.
School Brands Rock. We've had a very diverse series of stories. We have
Fantastic.
a pencil. We have school supplies. We have an iconic television show, and now a cheat device.
So you cheated in school. You mentioned a little bit the
With the
calculator.
calculator.
Yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned, but we did a lot of calculator-based cheating also. The TI-80 whatever, the really expensive calculator, it had a sleeve that went
Right.
to protect the buttons, and you could write with pencil in the inside of the sleeve, like, and it would create like a, do you know what I'm talking about? Like a really faint, like expecting children to memorize equations. And I even went to like the CliffsNotes, we'll get into all of it, but they have like a website now that is basically a lot of like school study guides, and it's for, you know, literature, sure, but also like math. And I was just clicking around just to say like, what does math look like? I clicked on like, probably was the equivalent of middle school math. The heat that rose in my body, the fear, the rage at seeing what math looks like and expecting a child to have that memorized.
All the like,
Hell no.
it's hard enough that as a child you have to learn just the numbers and letters. Like those are.
Learn how to live,
Tw-
how to function in the world.
I love that. In today's class, we're learning how to live. There's 26 letters. There's
Sure.
infinite numbers, but I
Sure.
guess really only 10 because they're all made up from the same 10.
I agree there's only 10 numbers.
There's only 10, right?
Well, do you mean 9?
0, 1,
0.
2. Oh, okay, so you need a Cliff's Notes.
I might.
Maybe you need to watch an episode of Sesame Street.
I really
But all I'm
should.
saying is there's so many things that they already have to learn. The 26 letters, the 10 numbers, and then now there's like parentheses.
Oh.
There's brackets. There's like a check mark with a fancy scarf.
Who knows what the hell that is?
There's like
a sassy gay check mark, a first day in Paris, at
The
an
gay-
internship at Vogue.
That's the only reason I was good at math, because I thought that check mark was living its best life. I was like, I'm headed. My remainder is whatever it leaves behind. Bend over. Yeah, math is too hard.
It's too hard. It's too much. School was really tough. And we haven't been talking about this before, but school was very tough for me. Reading and writing, that was kind of where I felt like I could shine because I always loved writing my little stories, and I would get A+, and I can brag because I would literally get D- on regular math and chemistry and science and all that. But I would write my little stories, and I would do very well in school. My proudest moment, speaking of books and literature, I wrote a book report. Also, no bedtime. I Love Lucy, Laverne and Shirley on 4 a.m. I'm hanging out in my bedroom, rearranging my troll dolls. And it's like, oh, I have a book report due tomorrow. Where it was like, any book that you've read, it wasn't an assigned book, the same book for all the kids. Write a book report. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I haven't read like a book that I can write this on. I wrote a book report on a book that did not exist.
What do you mean?
I made up a book. I summarized a book.
You're George Costanza.
That did not exist. And I got an A+.
That's insane. I don't know if this is considered the opposite or the same. And I think this was in college. We had to do 2 like book report things, one at midterm and one for our final. I did the same book. I did the same report both times, but for the second one, I just added adjectives on every line because it had to be like twice as long.
Yeah,
it was like, this one has to be like 10 pages, this one has to be 20. I literally just like plumped it up.
And nobody noticed or cared.
I mean, this is why we are podcasters.
Yes.
And not presidents.
If not for this, the only other thing we could be is co-presidents.
Co-presidents.
I remember all the tricks with the we would have to use like a word processor for a lot of we did handwritten, but then we also, when you get to the word processor era and it's like, it has to be 8 pages and you're inching up the font by the 0.01, you're squeezing in those margins.
It's like 3 lines.
My paper looked like a dang pencil. It was.
I thought you were going to say it looked like an eye chart.
Yeah. Spaces in between the letters, spaces in between the words, double spaces. Nowadays, you don't even do 2 spaces after a period. I mean, think about what that's adding.
Oh my God. If one more youngin' yells at me for having 2, I like 2 spaces. It's what I grew up on. It's what I'm sticking with. It feels weird to not. I'm leaving 2 spaces.
I agree. It's like, can we just take... Everybody now is go, 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 rushing through this essay. Can we just take one little pause between sentences to catch our breath?
That period needs its space.
I agree.
It doesn't need you. You know what I did in high school? I wrote a paper, I think it was in photography class, and my teacher, you could just tell my teacher didn't give a honk about it.
Sure.
And in the middle of the paper, I had the courage and conviction to write, I can't remember his name, Mr. Blah, 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 I know you're not reading this paper. And I turned it in. I got a fine grade, no mention of it.
There you go.
He definitely did not read it.
Wow, what a loser.
What a loser.
I hope
he's still there.
he definitely doesn't have a podcast.
He might. Everybody has a podcast now. Okay, so before we get into the show, I have some slightly exciting news.
Ooh.
I received this envelope in the mail this week, which as
you will die in 7 days.
Mar, that's terrible.
Sorry.
But maybe not far off. What I got was, you're invited to have a meal on us. It's addressed to the Glover family. Complimentary tickets for the Glover family enclosed.
Okay.
Enjoy a free meal at the Griffith Park Clubhouse. I love Griffith Park. I live right by it.
Sure.
Sent to me by a funeral home.
Oh no.
By Forest Lawn.
You know what?
The neighborhood funeral home.
The neighborhood cemetery.
This is where Michael Jackson has been laid to rest.
I think there is no room I would rather be in less than the free meal line at the cemetery symposium.
Are you sure? Because Mar, I have 2 tickets, and on the ticket...
Oh, that actually looks pretty good.
There's a sliced up chicken breast and a very hearty salad.
What is that, raw cauliflower?
Yeah, it looks like... I think... I can't tell if that's raw cauliflower or part of a decomposed
They're
body.
like, you don't have much longer. Don't worry about the food. Oh,
This is
so depressing.
Here's my issue with it.
Okay.
It is either, and it doesn't tell me. It is either they somehow have decided that I am at the age where I need to start planning my final resting place.
Sure.
Or they think I'm at the age where my parents, who, by the way, are still alive.
Who was it? Was addressed to?
The Glover family.
Okay. You know what? They thought that maybe your son would open this.
They thought my son was going to get
your
this.
teenage
I do
son.
Sometimes have a fake son that I call Ryan.
Okay, so they thought that this was for Ryan. And what's your sister's name? Your fake daughter, I mean, Leslie? Ryan
I don't
and
have
Leslie?
a daughter. I didn't even want to have Ryan. I chose not to have children. He was a mistake.
Wow, so this is tough. He has to make this decision on his own. That's what happens when you have an only child.
Here's what's going to happen. If I go, I'm going to have a meal on them and hear a free insurance sales presentation. And I will learn the benefits of advanced funeral pre-planning. Now,
Also advanced. They're giving you the credit to say that they didn't say imminent.
imminent, like by end of year.
Uh-huh.
They are trying to pressure me because it says seating is limited. They did want me to understand that Benjamin Franklin himself once said, by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
Oh, I do agree with that.
Did you know that there are more than 100 decisions and pieces of information needed at the time of passing? They'll walk me through all that as I'm eating what I assume will be a succulent chicken breast.
I do think you should go because you have quite robust expectations of how you will be laid to rest.
I mean, I basically just want to be preserved in my apartment.
You want to be stuffed in your apartment, and then it's a living museum.
Yeah, and there's a press penny machine with 4 designs of the key moments of my life. Me entering the storage unit, me winning the Emmy, the first time I made love,
Great.
and sitting at this podcast.
Perfect.
Those are my 4 highlights.
All 4.
So I have to decide.
You have to go.
I have to scan this QR code. It could already be sold out. And there is a little note at the bottom.
Honey, it's not sold out.
The free meal is only provided the first time you go. So they know me well enough to know, Jon, there's a chance Jon's going to try to come every time
There
we do
are
this.
people that try to show up every time and go, you know, actually, I've been thinking it over. I'd like to hear a little more about what is cremation.
Now, I understand the cream part. Now, what's the mation? We get deeper into mation? Hop, opening my Tupperware. My Tupperware burps because I seal it. Burp. No, anyway, mation. Yeah, I don't know. So it's almost like your final timeshare.
Sure. Yeah, because there's no such thing as a free lunch, as we know.
I will say, Forest Lawn is nice. It's a chain of cemeteries here.
But a nice chain.
I have people I care about buried at Forest Lawn. And like I said, Michael Jackson is literally, we could be sitting on the steps of Michael Jackson's mausoleum in 10 minutes if we wanted to
and
right
maybe
now.
we should.
He's so close.
Maybe we should record from there.
You either go down the street, turn right to get to Michael Jackson, left to get to Cinnabon. I haven't decided which I'm going to today. Cinnabon is having a great sale today.
Honey, you can't go wrong. What's the sale at Cinnabon?
40th anniversary, one day only from 2 to 4, $1.59 Cinnabon. They're normally $8. I may run to them all after this.
Oh, I struggle with like free donut day line down the block.
If there's a line, I'll bail.
Sure. Oh.
$1.57 though, man. That's like
Well, you know you're just going to eat the middles.
the middle's the best part.
Get a dozen and just eat the middles.
I angrily eat that dry outer ring, knowing that I'll get to that succulent middle.
You got to earn the middle.
But then you get to the middle, and it feels raw, and I'm like, they didn't cook it. But I think it's intended, but it's just always really on that border.
That's the tough thing with cinnamon rolls. The rim gets dry, the middle too wet.
I mean, I think it's Cinnabon more than just cinnamon rolls.
Oh, maybe.
I think it's a brand-specific issue.
How do they do just the middles?
I mean, what's happening right now? I know if you're not watching YouTube, Marisa looks like a weird villain. She's holding like a cat, like stroking a cat as she talks to me about
Cinnabon's wet middles.
All right, babe, I got to learn. How am I going to cheat in school? I don't know if CliffsNotes are still around. I don't know. If
well, we're going to dive into it. I'm curious with our listenership, like you were saying, how this lines up with everybody's ages. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, CliffsNotes are study guides, not cheater guides. They're study guides that summarize classic literature that you would be assigned in school. So instead of having to read Animal Farm cover to cover, your precious time when you want to be playing spin the bottle and making up ways to smoke weed, you have these little
Making
yellow
up ways.
Yeah, we would like make up ways, like, you know, like in an apple or a carrot, like you make like a little bong out of a carrot.
You've made an apple bong?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're hardcore.
I'm telling you, I was not studying.
You know, now that I think about it, when I research for the pod, I basically create John's notes because
Yeah.
sometimes I will cut and paste an entire article and then go through and cut out. I was like, how can I get this down to just the concentrated information?
Exactly.
And I'll take a 2-page article and I get it down to like 8 bullet points.
You're Cliff.
I'm Cliff.
Cliff is you.
Wow.
They were these little yellow and black striped pamphlets. They would be in your school bookstore. They'd be at like, we would get them at like Borders or Barnes & Noble. They often had their own little, not kiosk, a own little like display,
Stand,
a little
like a
stand where
little
they would be like
magazine
spinning
stand.
around, a little magazine stand. And they would be for all the literature that you could possibly be assigned in school.
Very generic covers. Like it would
Yes.
just say like
The title of the
Handmaid's
play.
Tale,
Exactly.
like in a bold black ink.
They weren't intended to be used as cheat guides. The intention was that you read the book and then you use the CliffsNotes to kind of deeper understand the material. Of
Was there
course-
like opinion and thought in it, or it was?
Yeah, it would be like questions and like things to think about, considering like what motivation would this character have to do it. Like there was, it was intended to just like deeper your understanding, or because a lot of these like Shakespeare plays, like the language might be more antiquated, you might need to have some reference to be able to understand it more deeply. So for example, here's a CliffsNotes version. Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. The CliffsNotes version would say, in 1775, people viewed their era as exceptionally good or exceptionally wicked. So, and it was funny because I read that and I was like, I don't
It's
think I ever
longer.
really thought of what it was the best of times, it was the worst of times meant.
You didn't?
No, I feel like that kind of deepened my understanding of it. So that was the intention, is that it was... You wouldn't read the CliffsNotes instead of the book. You'd read the book.
You would.
Sure.
You're
then-
not supposed. Everyone would.
And then read
I don't
the
know
CliffsNotes.
anyone that's buying CliffsNotes is not like, first I'm going to thoroughly read the book, and then I'm going to sit down and just make sure I understand it.
Yeah, because I want to go a little bit deeper. I want to get an A++, get that extra 10%. Sometimes, you know, a quiz would have like a bonus question
Yeah.
that you could like, if you could
Yeah.
answer the bonus question, extra credit. I love that.
Did you know what kind of burns my buns, speaking of
What?
hamburgers? I forget
Yeah.
what that phrase is that we're supposed to try to do. You know what boils my bread?
Sure.
A minus. Like any, like a
minus?
B minus, an A minus, just make it the letter. Why a minus makes it's like, it was good-ish. Like,
You know, I will tell you that they are, and I've had this beef for years,
What?
and then now it's actually coming true. I'm like, was I right? So when we were growing up, like 90 to 100 was an A, 80
at
to
some point it
89
was
a B.
93 to 100. Ours got changed, so it was like harder to get an A.
It was harder to get an A. Now it slid the other way.
Oh, 85 to 100?
Because I've always said I got half of them right. That should not be an F. Like, it's a miracle I got half. So now 50% is a C minus.
What?
Which I think is true, is good.
This is universal, or this is just like in your
Some
school?
schools it's popping up. Not at our school, we don't have letter grades because it's elementary. But in some high schools, they're trying to make it a little easier for kids to get those good grades. And so, which that's how I felt. I was like,
So
I didn't study and I got half right. I shouldn't fail.
The fact that you started that sentence off with, I didn't study, I should pass. So instead of like them saying, how do we fix this? Like,
Sure.
let's
Prepare
figure-
the kids better.
Let's get more teachers. Let's
Sure. Mm-hmm.
get more aides. Let's do this. Let's just lower expectations.
And then me, Dopey McGee, shows up for my first day at Harvard.
with your apple bong, ready to go, man. You probably got a CliffsNotes for your college application.
Probably.
All I have to put is my name and send it. Wow.
Yeah, because I'm an A+ student. Okay, so we're starting with Clifton Keith Hillegass. So his name is Cliff.
I thought it'd be Clifton P. Notes.
Clifton P. Notes would be, but should we call him Clifton P. Notes even though it's not accurate?
No, we're a factual show. Remember, people
So
get their
first
degrees.
we have Clifton P. Notes. I just winked. He was born in 1918 in Nebraska, and Cliff was the son of a rural mail carrier, which is the same as my father-in-law was a rural mail carrier as well.
He was.
Pretty cool.
Very
So
neat.
I am Cliff.
You're the heir of Cliff's Notes because of that connection. So, and just to throw it in, he's born 6 years after the sinking of the Titanic.
And I'm sure that influenced his upbringing in ways that it's impossible to know.
Yeah.
He earned a bachelor's degree in physics and math at Midland Lutheran College and began graduate studies in physics and geology at the University of Nebraska. So he's a smarty pants.
Very smart.
But he dropped out in 1939 to marry a classmate named Catherine Galbraith.
Gal breath.
Galbraith.
You got real gal breath.
That was a compliment at the
gal
time.
breath. Like
Galbrath. Galbraith.
Galbraith.
At the same time, he got a job at the college bookstore, so Long's College Books in Nebraska, where he worked as a clerk. And a bookstore was a good place for old Cliff to work because he loved to read, and he said he read 5 books a week.
That's a book a day.
A book a day.
Work week. Work week.
Monday through Friday.
He takes the weekends off to be with Galbraith.
Exactly. And enjoy her gal breath.
Her gal's breath. This is my gal's breath.
So reading was his thing. So he has this awesome job. He's at the bookstore. He's got his new bride. He's making $12 a week, or in today's money, $278.89.
That seems like in the 1939, that would go pretty far in Nebraska.
Maybe, yeah.
That doesn't seem bad.
Could you live off of $278 in Nebraska now?
Not now. I mean, people may.
People may. So Cliff worked at the bookstore until World War II when he joined the Army as a meteorologist, which is, if I was joining the Army, if they made me, I'd be like, dibs on weatherman.
I mean, don't you have to have a degree to be a
weatherman?
Sorry, I'm distracted by your cat's all over the place. Before we started recording, your cat literally stood up on 2 paws and just started walking around like a human. It was psychotic.
It's something very strange.
Now he's jumped on a table and is staring at a piece of art.
So Cliff's working as a weatherman, and his wife worked for the Manhattan Project. Do you know what that is?
I feel like I do, but I would like to hear you explain it.
I also know, but for the listeners, I'll summarize it for them. And to clarify, I did know before doing this episode.
Does it have to do with the
bomb?
Yeah, it does, right?
It does,
Okay,
yeah.
good. Then, yeah, like I kind of know.
Yeah.
It's bomb related.
It is
You know, why don't you go
bomb-related.
ahead and drop a bomb on our listeners and tell us all about it?
I love that. The Manhattan Project was a top secret government project to race to create an atomic bomb before the Nazis could.
If you're going to make an atomic bomb, definitely race to do it. We've never heard the phrase, haste makes waste, but let's go as fast as we can to make the most dangerous thing man knows.
I mean, you see me race to make an IKEA cabinet, and let's just say it shows.
It's wonky. There's like those seams that
wonky.
don't close.
And you're like, go, go, go.
Go, atomic bomb.
Yeah, it was a wild time. After the war, Cliff comes back to work at the same bookstore, but he has a new job. So he helped transform this bookstore into a wholesale textbook distributor. He ended up traveling all over the country, buying and selling used textbooks, and then a little trip up north to Toronto, Canada, changed his life forever. It was there that he met a man named Jack Cole.
Okay.
Jack Cole invited Cliff to his house for dinner. Very romantic.
Had a date, went to Canada, had a date.
I mean, honestly, maybe.
He wanted to get away from that gal's breath.
It was a different time. So Cole, who operated 2 bookstores, he published a series of course outlines in Canada called Cole's Notes.
Oh, I hope everyone is pulled over because
I hope you were pulled the heck
I don't even know
over.
what to think right now. There's a sister note, a brother note.
So Jack Cole was like, hey, I'm going to let you in on my business opportunity. I have all these pamphlets that summarize Shakespeare's plays. I have 16 of them, and I want you to be the American distributor of Cole's Notes.
This is blowing my
So
mind.
Cliff, he's like, great, I'll give it a shot. I'm already kind of in the distributing a textbooks business. That seems like an easy thing to get into.
I have one request, though.
There's one little tweak I'd like to make.
Instead of Kohl's,
What if? Well, you'll see.
we'll call it.
So Cliff gives it a shot and he starts selling Cole's Notes in the US. He had to secure his own publishing, so he did do something, and his own distribution. So he needed a loan for $4,000 or $50,000 today. And he printed 33,000 copies of Cole's Notes himself to distribute to the US.
Okay.
He and his wife, Catherine, and their 3 young kids packed and shipped all the Cole's Notes from their house, and they're selling pretty good. But within the first year, Cliff is like, why don't I just call him CliffsNotes?
Of course. Everyone's calling him Cole. Is Cole coming to the party?
Who the
My
hell
name
is
Cliff.
this Cole guy? He's in Canada. We're never going to see him again. He did do some rewriting to kind of put his own twist on it, which is Interesting that we're going into like plagiarism territory for like the CliffsNotes. The whole thing is that you want to come up with your own original idea.
The plagiarist.
He says he rewrote them, phased out the Coles
He
name.
did what I did. He just like added adjectives.
Pretty much. I think he did exactly what you did. He fattened them up a little bit, leaned some other parts out.
Yeah.
The whole concept, the name was the same. The design of the pamphlet, which you're so iconic. If you know what we're talking about, it popped in your mind immediately what it looks like with these yellow and black stripes. He wrote CliffsNotes. He had a little mountain to go behind the logo. But the black and white stripes were directly lifted from Coles Notes. So if you look up Coles Notes on Google, you're like, those are CliffsNotes. Black and yellow, like bumblebee stripes.
Good Lord.
So you're seeing a side-by-side of the Coles Notes and the CliffsNotes. Can you tell that that is the same product?
Well, I mean, to be fair, CliffsNotes, I mean, same colors. Exact same black and yellow
bumblebee stripes.
But Coles Notes, the lines are horizontal. CliffsNotes, the lines are at a diagonal. And Coles does add a nice splash of color in every title, like a big like plate of color. So
sure, that might hold up in court. It's just interesting that he didn't try to make his own design. He was probably wanted to capture some people who were looking for Coles Notes and saw CliffsNotes and, didn't make the connection. Those were two different things. Like, oh, great, that's the same thing. Of course,
yeah.
of course.
Of course.
He started in 1958 with his CliffsNotes, and 6 months later, he had sold 58,000 copies. By 1964, just 6 years later, he was able to quit his job at the Nebraska Book Company and focus full-time on CliffsNotes. He changed the name in the 1960s from CliffsNotes with an apostrophe. He took out the apostrophe. Now it's just CliffsNotes without the apostrophe. He divorced his wife, Catherine, in 1966.
No.
He remarried a woman named Mary, adopted her 2 kids.
How short were his wedding vows? Okay.
That would be a good, like a New Yorker cartoon. Okay.
I always want. I'll give a shout out to God. I wish I could remember who it was. It was someone at UCB. I don't think I brought this up on pod, but we went through UCB, you and I, and we would go see shows all the time. And someone did a sketch where they were doing the funeral of the person that invented Mad Libs.
Oh, that's fun.
And I just always thought it was one of the funniest things I ever saw.
I mean, even just on premise alone.
The premise is just so easy.
What was that?
Funny.
That might have been like a Paul Rust.
It was. It definitely wasn't a Paul Rust. I can picture who it was, but I'm blanking on his name, and I feel bad.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's doesn't listen to the pod.
If he did, shout out to you.
I tried.
So at this point, CliffsNotes is pumping, and it led me to believe, who's writing all these CliffsNotes? Was it Cliff, the voracious reader that we learned read 5 books a week? Seems like he would delight at the opportunity to summarize this literature and present interesting study questions that might engage the reader and deepen their understanding of the text. No, he found grad students who would do it for pennies to write all of his books.
He did pay them a little bit of money and was like, just summarize this book for me.
Yeah, very, very cheaply.
So he had a little sweatshop.
He ran a little sweatshop with all these
hot college and they're like
boys
sweating.
With their like jackets with the patches on the elbows. I mean, this is 1960s college boys, grad students.
Is there anything finer?
They were willing to work for very cheap. And in the 1960s, CliffsNotes was now advertised in like 17 magazine, Playboy, college newspapers, Scholastic Journal, which helped cement them as being an essential part of the college and school experience. By the mid-1970s, sales dipped when the classic literature, like the Scarlet Letter, it just wasn't taught in schools as much. And schools started shifting to like a pass or fail grading system. So it wasn't as much about the in-depth assessment or restating what you've learned in the literature. It was just a little bit more like multiple choicey.
Okay, so this kind of goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about because, okay, so now we're at a moment where in schools, they've decided to have people read less books. Cut to 40 years later, now we're like, we'll just make it easier to pass.
Sure,
so we're just getting dumber and dumber and dumber.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Beyond. That's why it's so important what we do, because we're teaching the people.
Right. This is your CliffsNotes now.
This is school.
This is brand notes.
So mid-1970s, the sales have dropped from 2.8 million to 1.8 million. CliffsNotes is trying to figure out, like, do we need to broaden what we do? They experimented with Cliffs cassettes.
Nope.
which were summaries on tape.
I can picture them. I never saw them, but I can picture exactly what they look like.
A little yellow sticker.
Mm-hmm.
It failed after about 6 months.
Yeah, that seems... I feel like it would be hard to find one that doesn't have a sale or half price sticker on it.
Sure. Maybe they're on eBay somewhere.
Probably.
Clift kept the company in Nebraska and donated 10% of the profits to local causes. And he retired as president in 1983 at age 65, but he stayed on as a board chair. By the mid-'80s, CliffsNotes had 25 staff, 225 guides in print, and 60 million copies circulating in 39 countries. By the end of the 1980s, they made 11 million annually, which is about 28 million today. And as I said, he always maintained...
I thought you meant 11 million books. I was like, you can't do that conversion with books. It would still be 11 million books today.
Because of inflation, would actually be 28 million books. You can sweeten any number, juice it up a little bit for 2025.
Yeah.
By the way, the other day I had to Google what year is it?
There on very rare occasions, I start writing the year with 19. And then I'm like, holy shit.
For some reason, I was like, didn't know. Are we in 2026 yet? Like, it feels like we should be there. And then when you Google what year it autofills, is it? So
Well,
I
sure.
know I'm not alone. But not
course
like
not.
what year did the Titanic sink? What year did the moon landing? What year is it? Is the very first thing that comes up.
No, you're not alone. It's you and all the people suffering from short-term memory loss.
Sure, yes.
Dementia.
I know. These are my peers.
And Marisa.
These are my peers.
What year is it?
So Cliff, as I said, these are not meant to replace the actual reading of the book. They're to supplement. In fact, each book had a note with his signature that said, "A thorough appreciation of literature allows no shortcuts." And students who use them to avoid reading the actual material or going into class discussion groups are denying themselves the very education that they are presumably giving their most vital years to achieve. So there you go. This is his mission in life.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it maybe is not the case with what the company is trying to promote now, but we'll go through a timeline a little bit.
So it sounds like he's kind of in line with Joan Cooney. Remember the quote that I read on Sesame Street last week, where she's like, basically like reading. Like the most important thing is to have the knowledge of reading.
Exactly. And
she would probably hate CliffsNotes.
She would hate CliffsNotes because why are you putting all this effort to go to college to then shortchange yourself of the experience that you're getting from actually reading the material? Because it's not just like, well, what happened? Who is Hester Prynne in the Scarlet Letter? What is her character? It's absorbing and being immersed in the actual text is like the point. It's not about passing the class.
You know Hester Prynne?
I know Hester Prynne.
Is that printed in front of you, right? Printed. Is that in your notes?
My paper notes.
Hester Prynne. It's like going on vacation. It's like going out of the country on vacation and staying in your hotel room.
Exactly.
Which
honestly
sometimes
is kind of nice.
Sometimes I'm like, meh. It's like, I know I should be out there living, but
I don't know. Local news hits different in a hotel room. Watching like Joe Dirt on TV with commercials in an air-conditioned, ice-cold hotel room, something just hits a little different.
just last night, I'm house sitting in a place that has beautiful air conditioning, and I watched all of National Treasure 2
Oh my God.
with commercials. And then it was like, well, I guess it's time to go to bed.
That is true freedom, is when you can enjoy a movie with commercials and you don't get irritated. Like, because it's like, why am I in a hurry? You know what I mean? You feel like you're like in such a rush, like I'm trying to get through this movie as quickly as possible. So what? You're hanging out for 2 minutes watching a commercial for Tide. Big deal.
But do you actually watch the commercial? I use the commercial to look at TikTok or to work on the pod, or I don't sit there and I'm like, whoa, there's a new headache medicine? I guess I'll try that.
Where do you learn about headache medicines if you don't watch commercials?
Die.
Are you okay?
I think I just don't talk in my everyday life. So now when I sit down and do the pod, my throat is like, what are you doing?
My mom has that with her water leak detector because for her new insurance, we had to install a Moen water leak detector. Boy, is it driving Grandma Bobo crazy. So if you have any irregular water usage, which like we do a lot of like slip and slides and stuff, you would hate this. You get a alert on your phone that you have like 2 minutes to respond to saying that it's not a leak. And if you don't respond, they shut off your water.
What?
And so it's like irregular water usage. So you should have an alert that's like irregular talking usage. And if you don't respond and say you're safe, you lose the ability to speak.
I mean, there's probably days where the only person I talk to is Alexa.
What do you say to Alexa?
I have her put on music
yeah.
or turn the lights on or off or ask her what my notification. Sometimes she's gotten really annoying lately. She's really starting to like try to like weasel her way into my life.
There's a new version of Alexa that got downloaded. They're rolling it out. That's more of like an AI assistant. And there was a lady who posted a video saying that the Alexa was talking to her boy in the night at like 10 p.m.
There's your Shudder original series.
Yes, it's very scary. So this might be happening with yours if it's gotten the new upgrade.
Mine just tells me like the weather service wants you to know Los Feliz is going to be hot for the next 3 days.
Well, that could be helpful.
It's like I know though. It's like I feel it, Alexa.
You're like I know I'm in the I'm in
the heat.
She thinks you're also like a digital being like her.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she thinks since I can afford her that I'm rich.
Oh, that you don't go outside.
So I have an air-conditioned home.
Sure.
She doesn't know how sad I am.
She doesn't know that you have like skin and bones and that like you can sense temperature.
Right.
Because she's like, oh, did you know that like it's going to be hot outside? That's going to be hard for the humans. And then you're like, I am the human. So we'll just blast through a little timeline stuff. So go into what the reaction was to CliffsNotes at the time. In 1997, Villanova University decided to pull CliffsNotes from its campus bookstore.
So you're telling me I wake up in 1997.
Yes.
I have two choices. I can either...
Big day. November 1997.
Is it November?
I mean, maybe, sure.
I mean, so I can either try to hunt down one of the last remaining copies of CliffsNotes. Or I go to the theater.
Oh, I'm seeing that the ban happened in April of 1997. But, you know, everybody's getting excited.
You know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. I would see Titanic.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay, good.
So Jon R. Johannes, he was the VP for Academic Affairs. He explained it was a symbolic stance. So, of course, people can still get CliffsNotes other places. He said, we want to encourage students to plunge into a piece of literature. It's more important that they ask questions than get the right answers. So that's like what we were talking about.
That sounds like some hippy-dippy shit. It's more important to ask questions than get the right answers.
That's my kind of teacher.
So 2 + 2, it's like...
But why, man?
Why are they like next to each other?
You know what I struggled with in math that I asked a lot of questions about? When you go into geometry, whenever that like lesson starts in whatever grade that is, it feels like it's like 7th grade or something. The line that has a point and goes on forever. Do you know what I'm talking about when you learn about those lines? Mm-hmm. It has a point. It goes on forever. If it has 2 points, it's like that's just the size of the line. But if it has little arrows on the end, it goes on forever in whatever direction. Mm-hmm. Where the are these lines? I remember raising my hand and being like, what lines? Because this is okay. If it's like 2 + 2, that comes up in my life. It's money. It's like apples. It's like bananas.
Of course, yes.
2 shoes on my 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
I know numbers. Where are the lines that have 1 point and go off in the same direction forever? Where am I seeing this line?
Roads?
Forever?
Well, I mean, for a good amount. Route 66?
You sound like the teacher who did not know what to say. There's no good answer coming out of that teacher.
I can't answer that. But while you were rambling on about it, my mind started to wander about other mathematical symbols. Uh-huh. And I just realized... I was like, I'm not even kidding. This is what was going through my head when you were rambling on about the lines. I was like, Jon, what's your favorite math symbol?
Oh.
Like, of the OG...
Probably division. I think you like division.
You're right. I was like, let's just go with the OG 4.
Okay.
We have subtraction, addition, multiplication, division.
Yes.
And I started to think about each of them individually. And it just dawned on me... And maybe you have never thought of this.
I guarantee you I haven't.
The division symbol is literally, it's the line with 2 dots.
Yes.
They're literally divided. Those 2 dots are being divided by that line.
Yeah,
I have goosebumps. I feel like I'm Rain Man right now.
I've never.
Is that what that symbol is?
Sure. if it is,
They're like two people. It's like
Yeah.
It's like you and me. It's like an aerial view of this, and there's a wall right here. We are the division symbol.
Wow.
So I don't know where your line is, but I think I'm headed to a Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, honey, I hope they're pulled over, because if not, 8-car pile up on the interstate.
All cars are overheating right now. The Alexa in your car just heard what it is, and she knows we're onto them, and she's going to make your car explode.
This is a robo secret that you just revealed.
None of the other ones are like that.
No, I don't think. No, they're not
like
really
the
like that.
multiplication's like straight edge. It's like, how's that multiplying? It should be like 14 X's.
Yeah, you're right. It should be 14 X's.
It should be, or an X with an X with 2 dots coming out of it, like it's like a clone
Like it's
machine.
birthing them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know the other two.
Plus.
Addition.
Minus.
Yeah, we'll figure. I'll pass those on to other scholars. My life's work is now in the division symbol.
We'll peel off into a separate podcast about that.
Mm-hmm.
Jon on math.
God, even peeling off makes me, God, we're really going off topic a
No,
lot
it's
right
great.
now. Wouldn't they always say that when you're in class? Like, let's head off into our individual groups, or there was like a way that they got us into like little subgroups.
Yeah.
I forget what
You
that was
peel
called.
off?
Peel off.
Yeah.
Peel off with your, shut up.
I miss school in some ways. And I'm back in school, you know, with the kids and just being in that environment. I was there this morning helping out. I don't know. I really liked part of it. Obviously, getting bad grades wasn't fun, but having that kind of structure in your day, and you're seeing friends all day long, was so fun. You're eating lunch with your friends every day.
You're eating lunch at like 10:30.
You're eating French fries in a fried chicken sandwich at 10:30 a.m.
with all your besties.
With all your besties at a big table, hoping that once in your lifetime you'll get to see a real life food fight.
Oh my God, it is my dream. It is on my bucket list to have a real life, probably just pie fight. Mm-hmm. I don't need condiments involved.
Oh, you need condiments for it to be a food fight. You need some kid standing on a table squeezing a big bottle of mustard.
No, that's how we differ. The only way we differ.
That and only that, yes.
Now, are you taking this opportunity with your children being in school to try to get the education you deprived yourself from when you were a child?
I do linger in the first grade classroom
the
to
back
see.
Of the room.
It's a little bit of like a Billy Madison setup.
Mm-hmm.
I hear something and I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? Did she just say an octagon has 8 sides? But that sounds a lot like an octopus, which also has
8
legs. You still got an octopus on your bed?
I do.
Great.
I love it.
1998, BU, Boston University, followed suit, banned CliffsNotes from its bookstore shelves. Some faculty believed that the students were over-reliant on summaries for everything up to considering to be plagiarism. BU spokesman Colin Riley said, if CliffsNotes are used as an aid, that's fair, but allowing them freely undermines the classroom.
What a world we lived in when the biggest drama on campus that were kids were learning how to read a little bit quicker.
Sure.
I mean...
Or were they trying to use CliffsNotes so they could read the book faster and then do more
Babe.
It's a problem on college campuses,
Ow,
Jon.
beep that out. We can't have that in our show. Tomfoolery. They're trying to have more time to be rascals.
That's a good point. Reading a little bit on Reddit about people's experiences, their memories of CliffsNotes, many students recall being explicitly told not to rely on CliffsNotes. Teachers often crafted quizzes with questions that went beyond summaries designed to expose the kids who were using the CliffsNotes exclusively. So somebody on Reddit said, my old high school drama teacher always bought the CliffsNotes and would fill his quizzes with questions that would not be answered by reading the book. So the teachers would familiarize themselves with the CliffsNotes and then specifically tailor their quizzes and tests to not cover what was in the CliffsNotes. To be like, what color was Hester Prynne's hat?
What a dick teacher that is, man. Like, what's their Friday night like? They're just all smug and happy watching TV with their Swanson TV dinner. Like, I really got Mark today.
Their boiling hot brownie in their Swanson TV dinner.
That boiling hot brownie, like, that's got half of it's dipped in gravy. That gravy brownie.
Those were good.
Way to go, Mr. Schmidt.
You really showed these kids So rude. In 1999, at age 81, Cliff sold CliffsNotes to IDG Books, which was the publisher of the Four Dummies series. Do you remember the Four Dummies?
I do.
Did you ever? I feel like I had like my Macintosh for Dummies, like a lot of like computer related things.
I feel like I was gifted the Bible for dummies.
By who? It's so mean. That's a mean gift.
I think they just wanted me to
You
read.
need Jesus, but you're too dumb for the Bible. Did you read it?
If I'm going to read the Bible, I would probably go for the dummies version.
It's basically the CliffsNotes
I mean, the Bible. Can we talk about the opposite?
of CliffsNotes.
God damn.
I don't know if I've ever read the Bible.
I can tell you confidently, you have not read the Bible.
But I don't even know. I don't know if I've even like ever cracked one. Like maybe at a hotel.
Do you know?
I love
Love.
gold-edged paper.
Oh, who doesn't?
Great.
Started with the Bible, ended with Harry Potter.
Great.
You felt like a Bible page, right? They're so thin.
I mean, too thin.
It's like onion skin. It's like the number of pages compared to it is literally the opposite.
Why
of
can't they
CliffsNotes.
put it on regular paper? Because it would be like it'd be like 3 feet tall.
It'd be so tall.
I would do it. I'll do it.
That's what your goal is now, to just put the Bible out on
Regular paper. Thick paper. This is my thick Bible.
cardstock.
Yes.
It'll fill up a whole room. It'll be like, this is a computer from the 70s and it
Yes.
takes up like a whole warehouse. You're like,
Exactly.
this is a modern day Bible done on the right kind of paper.
Is that paper only used for Bibles? Is it like Bible paper? I've never seen it anywhere else.
I've never bought a novel that's printed on Bible paper.
It looked like a pamphlet.
I got to know more about Bible paper.
Peel off under your separate podcast.
Yeah.
So this is what was exciting for Cliff. This was his legacy, his career. He started this with a $4,000 loan. When he sold his business at age 81, he sold it for $14 million.
Whoa.
This was in 1999. He died in 2001 from a stroke at age 83. So 2 years later, he passed away. But I mean, for his family, for his children, to turn 4,000 into 14 million, not too shaboo.
And he dies as soon as he gets it. So they're like, yes.
You think his kids were like crying, but also giving each other a little thumbs up
Mm-hmm.
in the funeral?
That's a nice little payout.
I hope he attended his free lunch.
I hope he had those 100 documents
I hope
signed and
so.
prepped.
I hope so. The brand went through several owners. John Wiley and Sons in 2001. Everybody knows these companies. Houghton Mifflin Harcourt in 2012 and Course Hero in 2021, which is maybe the most famous of all of them. Today, most of their revenue comes from their website, which has free guides, but also a paid subscription for more in-depth content. So they have like $9 a month. You can get like more study guides you can download. They're all like online now.
Please tell me they have an app.
It seems to be a website.
That makes sense. It is 2025. I mean, who needs apps?
They're still for sale around $10 at Barnes & Noble. They've expanded into a lot of things like SAT prep study guides. This is what I found to be the most interesting, and I alluded to this earlier, as his original mission was to say that these are to aid in your understanding of the book. His little spiel about how this is not to be used to cheat has been removed from the books. And the cover actually states, it says, fast, trusted, proven. Which is now they're just leaning into it, because why would fast be a selling point if not to imply that this is faster than reading the actual book?
Well, at some point, society, like our time became a thing that like, oh, we have to make dinners quick. We have to do this quick. So they just...
Sure, 8-minute abs, 7-minute abs, 6-minute abs.
8-minute abs. God, well, I wonder what Colonel Sanders would think about that. It took him 8 minutes to make chicken in his specially designed pot. That's a callback from the KFC episode.
Go back and listen to that.
Here's the things I want to know, and maybe you're going to get to them. Are the covers different now? Do they have artwork, or are they still the same?
No artwork.
It's still very plain.
Yeah, black and yellow. I mean, that's their signature look. They haven't. I mean, it's like, what is this business model? Will they be around in 5-10 years? I don't know. Is $9 a month to subscribe to CliffsNotes.com enough to?
That's more than our off-brand.
Exactly. And you get to download, 10 PDF study guides? Big freaking deal.
Or 4 hours of us talking about anything we want. And my other question is, if I go buy the Macbeth CliffsNotes,
Yes.
Is it the same CliffsNotes that they had 40 years ago, or do they update it and make it more relevant
To be like,
today's world?
Macbeth, you could say he was a swaggy guy.
Yeah, they're like, Macbeth is sus.
Probably. Yeah, they probably updated every, how often does slang change? 4 months?
Every 4 months it
Every
gets
4
updated?
months they're reprinted.
That's why it's a website.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Their biggest competitor who came along, which I had remembered this, SparkNotes. Do you remember SparkNotes?
No.
That was another similar study guide shorthand.
When did they come along?
1999.
Someone in 99 was like, I'm going to take on CliffsNotes head on.
Yes.
It already seems kind of dated then.
Sure. They're like, we're going to put pictures on the covers.
Okay.
And their current biggest competitor is all of the internet.
I was going to say, Google.
Google, YouTube, more specifically AI, which is making teachers crazy because you could just say like, write a book report on Macbeth and AI will crank one out. This is where I really...
AI will...
Crank one out?
Wow.
Oh, it could crank one out.
I got to go.
I like this. Colleges and high schools are now so frustrated with AI and plagiarism. I mean, is it even plagiarism if it's like, it's not even like you're copying an existing work. The AI is just generating it.
But
So
AI is copying it from existing works.
from a myriad of existing works. And it's harder to trace because it's not like you're just putting it through like a machine that can see if it's been directly lifted, copied, and pasted from something else. So colleges and high schools are now switching to handwriting schoolwork, including timed, proctored essay writing, where it's just you, your sheet of paper, and your Ticonderoga pencil.
Full circle.
Buy stock in pencils.
That is where all your money should be.
Isn't that so exciting?
Not Bitcoin.
Nope.
Graphite.
I love it. That's it for CliffsNotes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure there's some people out there who know CliffsNotes and some people who have never heard of I'm telling you, CliffsNotes is how it's widely, if you Google it, it's like that's how it's usually used in vernacular. And it has become, for my brands, I'll like put in the brand and they'll look at the news tab on Google to see if it's come up in the news at all. The only instance of CliffsNotes is when it's used to just mean a summarized version of something. So it'll be like Game of Thrones finale, the most recent thing I could think of, the CliffsNotes version, or like Democratic primary CliffsNotes version. It's just come as like shorthand to mean a summary.
Right.
So I'm sure there's people who are like, oh, I've said even CliffsNotes, but I didn't even know that was in reference to a real thing. So that will be his legacy, is that he's entered the vernacular.
I use it. If someone's rambling on, like you were doing about that line in the dot, I'll be like, CliffsNote it.
Hey, give me the CliffsNotes.
Just CliffsNote it.
And if you ever hear anybody say Cliff Notes, you can correct them. That's, excuse me, there was a Cliff, and these are his notes. Let's show him some respect.
Get it
Statue in the
right.
town square. Get it right.
He's dead, and he died rich.
A millionaire.
And what are you? Sad. You're a sad person.
You're nothing.
Well, very interesting, very fun.
I have to ask, after everything you've learned, is Cliff's Notes on brand for you, Jon?
Wow, that's kind of a toughie. I'm going to, my initial reaction is to say that it's not on brand for me because I can't imagine ever buying one, visiting the website,
Sure.
searching the Apple Store to see if there is an app.
Okay.
I do my own research. I don't feel like I need CliffsNotes.
Oh, interesting. If you were assigned Canterbury Tales to read, would you read it or would you get the Cliff's Notes?
Who's assigning it?
Alpal.
So if Owl's like, Jon, I need you to read this book,
There will be a test.
I'll be like, screw you, bro. I mean, I probably wouldn't read the book. I don't know. It's off brand for me. What about for you?
I think it is on brand for me.
Is it? Yeah.
I mean,
guess.
I've bought them. So like I wish I had paid more attention in school. I probably wouldn't have to be doing this. Probably be president, as we said.
That's why you
Co-president.
take this opportunity with your children in school
Exactly.
to do it again.
Yeah. Sit in one of those little chairs.
That could be the next story you write.
I show up with one of those little hats with the propellers. I've never seen an actual kid wearing those, by the way.
Because it was in the 50s that they wore them.
Did kids actually wear those?
I think so.
Think.
I think they had like a slingshot in their back pocket
Yeah.
and a propeller hat.
Exactly.
pushing a wheel with a stick down the road.
Sure.
Different time.
Knocking a baseball through old Mr. McAllister's window.
Emptying their pockets, and you got a frog. You have coins. You have army men.
Boys had frogs in pockets.
Boys had frogs in pockets.
I don't see frogs anymore. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't seem to be around anymore that I'm curious
We've
about.
talked about quicksand.
Quicksand we've talked about. You know, another one that pops into my head sometimes, do women who are pregnant still like pickles?
Pickles and ice cream.
Pickles and ice cream or sardines.
Dipping a pickle in some vanilla ice cream.
Wasn't that a thing? It was like a thing for years.
I'll tell you what, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I never sit on the couch and eat bonbons.
Yeah.
That's what I thought I'd be doing.
I know.
Eating bonbons on... Do they even sell bonbons?
I don't know where you would buy a bonbon.
Okay, I'm gonna do 8 to 10 a.m. in the first grade classroom, learning my digits, and then I'm gonna do 10:30 to 2:40 eating bonbons on the couch, watching my stories.
That sounds like a good balance.
That sounds great. Well, that's it for Cliffs Notes. This has been a lot of fun.
Well, thank you very much for teaching us. This is the end of our classroom shows.
School Brands Rock.
School Brands Rock is finally at a conclusion.
We'll be back with another fun brand in the fall,
Yep.
brand theme in the fall.
We've got another theme month coming up, but for September, it is just freewheeling.
Ooh, never know what you're going to get.
I already know what I'm doing next week, and it will be shocking.
Oh my gosh.
It won't at all. It's not at all.
wait.
It's very simple and nice. All right, before we go, we have some shout outs to give. All of these people, if you don't know, every Wednesday on Instagram, I post a little puzzle called an Insta Egg. If you solve that puzzle, I send you a little freak badge, and your name gets added to our Wheel of Freaks, which I will spend 5 times every episode to pick our 5 freaks of the week. These are all the people that got the pencil Insta Egg right, and these are our lucky 5 freaks of the week this week. Shig, S.S. Hughes, Evan Moore, Dr. Jadaris, and Sandy with an I. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much for playing the Insta Egg. I really appreciate it. Be sure to check it out if you haven't. Give it a guess. I'll probably chat with you a little bit on Wednesday. And then check out our feed on Instagram because we also post supplemental materials that give you a bunch of inside looks on the people we talk about and all the fun things we talk about in all of our shows. So be sure to check out our Instagram page.
While we're giving shout outs, I'd like to shout out a lovely listener who left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. We have Mrs. Highfill76 who said a hilarious flashback down memory lane. Loved our Uno episode. She says she instantly flashed back to her high school dance committee days, ordering balloons by the gross for prom and homecoming, even as a teenager, thinking, what a weird quantity. Like, who decided 144 was the magic number? Because Walmart bought 2 gross of Uno cards. As a lifelong Uno fan and devoted Crazy Eights and Brady Bunch junkie, she felt like she time traveled straight back to the 80s, brought back a lot of sweet memories of playing Uno in her grandparents' RV or camping trips. So sweet. Thank you so much for the kind words. If you haven't left us a review on Apple Podcasts, please do that. It helps boost the show. It boosts our moods, boosts morale, and don't we all need a little boost these days?
I know I do.
I know I do. Check out our YouTube On Brand the Podcast where you can watch the episode and subscribe to our channel there. That helps us out as well. Our Instagram is at On Brand the Pod. TikTok is at On Brand the Podcast. You can play John's Insta Egg, supplementals, and chat with us there. John's always laying in bed awaiting your messages.
You know, sometimes I do sit on the couch.
And with that, we'll be back next week with an all-new episode.
And remember, we may go off topic, but you know what? We'll always be on brand.
Bye.
Goodbye.
brand.